listening to the 4 Questions with an Engineer podcast, the show that brings you bearing insights from CCTY Bearing. Yaman Obaid started with CCTY on May 15th and has been involved in market research, sales, and bearing stress analysis calculations. He will soon graduate from the University of Illinois at Chicago. We are sitting down with him today for advice on how to get experience and a job in mechanical engineering after graduating college. Yaman, let's get started with how and when should engineering students get an internship?
Start early. That's the number one thing. Start sophomore year. Now you have some engineering classes. You know SolidWorks, you know how to design, you know how to do some Arduino work, some coding. Now you're set to basically adapt to any environment. So any company, you can start adapting. Start early and apply for jobs. Get into companies, get your foot in the door. Now you're more in the game. Once you graduate, you're knocking off most of the competition because you're already ahead. You have so much experience. You have so many projects you worked on. You have so many things to tell. You can answer questions for employers. My sophomore year of college, I was applying to internships. I probably applied for about 120. By accident, I applied to this company, which was an assembler position. I thought it was an internship, but it was basically a summer help position. None of the 120 companies got back to me. Or they did we have found someone better, or the script. I did not get discouraged. I kept applying over a period of, I would say, 3 to 4 months. I was just applying every day until I got a call from this guy at the company I worked at, and he told me, well, you applied for this job, are you interested? And I was like, yeah, I thought it was an internship at first, but then he told me, well, it's just an assembler position. So I asked him, will that be kind of like putting my foot in the door to get an internship in the following year? He said, you're basically number one to be picked for the internship. So I said, well, yeah, you know what? It's 33 miles from my house, but I'm still gonna go. Drive there every single day. It's 33 miles going, 33 miles going back. I did not get discouraged because there's a goal I'm trying to get to. Because first internship is hard. Your second internship is easy. Your first job is hard. Your second job is easy. So that first experience, when it comes, you need to sacrifice for it. Try to get your first internship however way possible.
You're somewhat unique in that you secured a full-time job before graduating college. Do you recommend it for others?
I definitely recommend getting a job before graduating. My experience applying for jobs without having my degree done. I would ask employers, when should I apply? I'm graduating this time. Most employers would tell me it's not early, and that was, I think, in March, April. So they all told me, oh yeah, it's not early, and I'm graduating in August. So that 6 to 7 months period, most of them told me it's not early. Some companies said, oh yeah, apply in let's say a month before. So those companies, kind of like the big ones, they're like, we have so many applicants, we don't want to hire that early on. And you're not losing anything. Just keep applying, and then eventually you'll get an email. You'll get an email saying, we're not available now, apply later. Most companies do keep your resume for future positions.
What advice do you have for mechanical engineers looking for their first job?
First, I would say be open to opportunities. If you limit yourself to one city and you say, well, yeah, I only want to work in Chicago, that limits your options massively. If you say, well, I only want to work from home, that isn't available often for mechanical engineers. So maybe hybrid, but that wouldn't come until later. So I would say definitely be open to opportunities. Consider out of state, out of country if it's possible for you. Just don't limit your options. I would also say be persistent and patient. The job search process can take a very long time. Don't be discouraged. Some people say, I applied to 10, no one got back to me. That's nothing. You need to apply for at least hundreds of companies, especially in time where everyone's applying. That's season for basically getting hired. I would also say that be professional when you communicate. So when you see someone, let's say at a career fair, you need to be professional. You need to show that you want to be there, you're not forced to be there. If the employer sees that you're not feeling too good that day, or you're not very enthusiastic about your job, if you don't have great things to tell them, then they're not going to be encouraged to even speak with you.
In your opinion, what type of company offers recent graduates the most experience? Larger or smaller companies?
So this is a very important question, and people kind of perceive this differently. It ends up being what the person prefers. Do you want to get more experience, or do you want to get a company brand on your resume? Most people are like, well, yeah, you know what? Let me work at Tesla, get that Tesla brand on my resume, and then from there, I'm gonna go into a smaller company because it's so easy to get hired then. The thing people don't understand is that, let's say you go to Tesla, then you're gonna be given a very specific task. You're gonna be given one task. I've spoken to many engineers in the automotive industry. That was what I wanted to do. And I have gotten the same feedback from all of them. They told me you're gonna be doing door handles for the rest of your career. So I looked at that. I'm like, that's not what I want to do. I want to be more innovative. I know eventually you'll get to like the engine, maybe, possibly, but it's like bigger companies, they go by seniority. So even though you are really good, you're going to be promoted, but it's going to take time. I prefer smaller companies. So having worked with a bigger company and now moving into a smaller company, I would say I definitely prefer that, because now I get to do the entire thing. I get to be on the research and market side. I get to be on the sales team. I get to be on the engineering team. I get to do all of it, right? I'm getting so much experience from this. It's unimaginable. I have worked at a bigger company before this, and what we do there is very limited. You're given a task. You're not involved in like everything. You're involved in one thing. So I was a manufacturing engineering intern. I only worked with operators. So I don't know how to deal with customers. I don't know how to do market research. When you start working, you want to be somewhere where you're getting most of your experience. Trust me, you're going to get more experience from smaller companies.
Many recent graduates will find this useful. Thank you for sharing it with us today. And that's all for this episode. Make sure to visit our website, cctybearing.com, where you can subscribe to the show and learn more about bearings.